Oh my goodness. It is officially Thanksgiving Eve. And I hope everybody that is tuned in or goes back and watches this live stream or replay either tonight or tomorrow. I hope you guys are enjoying yourself. Hopefully the mic sounds good. I did some small tests before going live, but OBS is acting up tonight, as always. If you guys see me looking over this way, it's because I'm looking at this monitor to see the chat. Obviously, not the greatest setup here. Let me see if I can move this up a little closer. That's as best as I can get. Let's get a check, man. We got the Fiend in the building. We got Angelo, who says, yo, just blaze. Also known as Kold Steel. Hopefully you guys start adapting that name because that is going to be my name going forward. We got Josh Briggs in the house. What is going on? That's a dope-ass name, by the way. Josh Briggs. I wish I had a name like that. Oh, man. Who else we got in here? We got Steeler Lee. He says, what's up, Cold? What is going on, man? First and foremost, what are you guys doing tonight? It is Thanksgiving Eve. I'm sure most of you guys are spending time with your family already. This could be a long one, longer than normal. We're going to be getting into many different topics. We're going to do a recap of the Steelers and Chargers game. We're also going to preview the Steelers and Bengals. I'll give you guys my thoughts on that one. Spoiler, it doesn't look that great, if I'm being honest. But let's have a little faith, I guess. It is Thanksgiving. I'm in a good spirit right now. Angelo says we need to step up this season. The rest of the season has tough opponents. Apologies. You know, you're right. We have a lot more challenging opponents ahead. The season is only going to get rougher. In fact, a lot of the remaining games is in the AFC North. So it's going to be a true call or a true showing of what this team is capable of doing. Whether or not they are playoff bound or heading to the golf courses a little early this year. And we will talk about it. Let's wait a little bit longer to see if more people pour in here. If you haven't done so already, hit that like button. Now, I'm going to tell you, few days ago, came down with, I guess, allergies or a cold, unsure. It lasted for a day and a half, but I still have some of the after effects. So if you guys see me mute the mic, that is why. And if I sound stuffy, it's because I am. The issue is in this room here, I moved a lot of stuff over the last weekend, and I guess the dust really started kicking up in here. But before we talk Steelers, I want to talk a little bit about being a Steelers fan, but not just being the Steelers fan, the kind of fan that I am. Because I woke up this morning and I saw some comments on the Steel Twins latest video. First one was from a guy who was not happy about the language we were using in our content. And I gotta tell you, the way I speak, sometimes the words that come out of my mouth may not always be family friendly. But I don't recall ever saying this channel was anything other than that. This is not ESPN. And there is plenty of other content creators on this platform who choose to speak a little less sailor-like. So my suggestion going forward for anyone who is offended by any of the language that we use, specifically myself, my advice would be to find a different channel and simply just do not tune in. As you can read in the chat, the Fiend just said Bush effing sucks. And see, there you go. I do try to make a conscious effort at being a little less vulgar. But occasionally you're going to hear the F word. You're going to hear foul language on this channel. And that's just who I am. But as you can read in the chat, sometimes people are vulgar in the chat. So it is what it is. But more importantly, the one thing I really want to get off my chest is the kind of Steelers fan I am. I am a fan of the team, not the players. And I see a lot of guys in the chat right now talking about Devin Bush. We're going to get on that as well. But Devin Bush is the reason why we're having this conversation right now. This exact conversation that we're having right now. Devin Bush has sparked a lot of different conversations this week. And in the process, I had somebody comment on a video that me and the Twins put up on their channel. And they said, when Devin Bush gets better, don't jump on the bandwagon. Now, I don't know how you guys feel about that, but I live in the realm of being able to criticize players or the team in general based on how they're playing now. So what I'm saying to you is, if Devin Bush is playing horrible right now, I am going to talk about it. I am going to point those things out. If he's doing good on the field, I am going to talk about those things as well. But what I'm not going to do, at least intentionally, is talk about what ifs. Now, I know in certain situations, what ifs get brought up on a daily basis. But what I'm not going to do is pretend like this guy is going to be good in the future, because we just don't know that. I'm going to talk about how Devin Bush is doing on the field now, at this very moment, today. And if he was doing good today, I would talk about it, much like we talk about how good TJ Watt is. But if TJ Watt was doing bad on the field, well, I think it's my obligation to talk to you about those things. And right now, the Steelers, frankly, they suck. So I know it's unfortunate for some fans who can't handle the damn truth, but we are going to speak on those things as freely as possible. And what I'm not going to do is treat you guys like idiots. You understand? Because no one in their right mind, honestly, deep down inside, believes this team is anything other than mediocre at this point in time. So what do I look like getting on this camera and fooling you when you know damn well this team is mediocre? And if you believe anything other than that, I have no idea what to tell you. I just don't. And honestly, nor do I care to waste any of my time anymore. But on this channel, man, I am going to talk about factual things, and I'm going to give my opinions based on those facts. I'm not into lying. That is not my thing. I'm not into being overly confident. I'm not into being overly optimistic about things that just aren't worth being optimistic about. Right now, this team tied with the Lions and then lost to the Chargers. And now we're taking on the Cincinnati Bengals, who have already defeated us earlier in the season. What the hell do I look like coming on this camera and telling you that the Pittsburgh Steelers and Ben Roethlisberger, TJ Watt, all these guys are just the best in the league? It is just simply not true. And I know there's other guys out there that will do that for you. So if you're one of those people who cannot handle somebody telling the truth and talking about it, unsub, go to your search bar and search for those other people. And that's really all I'm going to say about that. Let's see what else we got going on in chat here, man. What else do we got going on in chat? We're going to talk about the game now. Let's recap it. Let's recap this game. Oh, man. Oh, Roethlisberger. Let's look at Roethlisberger. 28 for 44. He threw for 273 yards and 3 touchdowns. Statistically, his best performance of the season. Interesting. And I apologize for those who are watching on mobile. I am aware that you may not be able to see all the little details here. I'm going to work on finding a fix for that. But again, Ben, 28 for 44 in this game, 273 yards, 3 touchdowns. And you look at those stats, and if you're one of those people who doesn't watch the game play by play, you're probably thinking, damn, that is a hell of a performance for a guy. And as 007 says, Ben is the man. The issue is a lot of that came in the fourth quarter where the Chargers got complacent, which a lot of teams do when they're winning and they know they can win a game. No, I don't like it. No, a lot of you guys don't. I'm just not ready to put Ben Roethlisberger back at the top as far as elite quarterbacks go, like some people are. I'm just not there yet. I am just not there yet, man. And I'm sorry. I'm sorry, man. I just... a lot of that came in the fourth quarter when, honestly, a lot of those statistics should have came throughout the game. To a point where we weren't playing from behind like we were. But it is what it is, man. And as you can see, Najee Harris only got 12 carries, which is not what we normally see or have seen from him in the last few games. 12 carries, 39 yards, and 1 touchdown. And that is because the Steelers got away from the running game because we were playing from behind. Playing from behind. Here's the interesting stat, though. And this is probably going to be the biggest rant of all of this. Najee Harris was averaging 3.3 yards in this game. And I'm sure it probably would have been a little bit higher if he had got his 20 plus carries in this game. 13 or 12, actually. 12 carries in a game just isn't cutting it. Just is not cutting it. But here's what's interesting about that 3.3 average. There was a point where the Steelers were in the goal line, and I know some of you know where this is going, because I'm pretty sure we ranted about it during the watch party. There was a goal line situation where the Steelers, and I could be mistaken, but I'm pretty sure all 3 downs, they chose, or I think it might have even been 4 downs. They threw the ball from 3 yards out. You are 3 yards away from the end zone. You have a guy who's averaging more than that, and you don't run the ball? And this is not the first time we've seen this, especially this season. This Steelers team, the reason why I think they struggle so much on the offense is not because they can't necessarily get down the field. We've seen some drives. It is their red zone offense. And it mainly is coming and stemming from the fact that they're so stubborn that for whatever reason, they refuse to not only use Derek Watt down in goal line, but they're not utilizing him when they do utilize him in the correct way, and they're not running the ball with Harris, who they spent their first round draft pick on. It is just truly that simple, folks. In order for the Steelers to fix their offense, they've got to find a better balance between running and passing. But more specifically, they got to find a way to make the right play calls in the right situations. There is no reason to be 3 yards out from the goal line and you're going empty set. I mean, honestly. And as Matt513 says, to keep it more simple, it's the play calling. It has more to do with play calling than it does actual players, I think. Specifically on the offense. I mean, defense is a whole nother animal. We'll talk about that as well, because this was a very poor defensive situation for this team. So that is what it is as far as the running game goes. 39 yards on the ground, 12 carries. Abel, what is going on? He says, "What's up, Kold, man? What is going on, bro?" Benny Snell, do I even mention 2 carries, 7 yards? The team in general only had 55 yards on the ground. As far as the receivers go, the argument this week has been Deontay Johnson has pushed himself into that number 1 overall receiver on the roster. And in this game, he did have a very solid game, 101 yards and a touchdown. He was targeted 13 times, but only had 7 receptions. A lot of that had to do with the fact that Ben was unable to get the ball to him. A lot of those passes were obviously not that great. And again, for those who aren't watching the game, they could assume that those were drops. That was not the case. Chase Claypool actually had one of his best performances of the season. Did not score a touchdown, but he did have 93 yards. And honestly, this is one of those games where Chase actually looked pretty damn good overall. And of course, Eric Ebron, who had a touchdown in this game, who unfortunately I do believe is now injured or was injured in that game. I don't know what to think about that. I'm just glad we have Pat Freiermuth, who also scored a touchdown in this game. 11 yards total. But I think I've had enough about the offense. Let's move on to defense, and I'm going to go back to full screen here. V's, what is going on, bro? Danielle, what is going on? Yeah, you missed a lot. I went on an epic rant in the beginning of the stream. You'll have to go back and definitely watch that. Had to get some things off my chest in regards to the kind of content that I create on this channel. I just needed to, verify or let people know that I'm not into lying to people on this channel. I like talking about factual things. So that is it with offense. Defense. Oh, man, where do I start? I'll start with Devin Bush. Let's get on to the Devin Bush topic because it's definitely the hottest one. Devin Bush in general overall has been the opposite of what he was the previous season prior to his injury or even his rookie year. And there's been 101 excuses as to why he's not playing effectively. But I want to ignore all of that. And I want to just talk about factual things and not, again, hypothetical what ifs. Because you got some people who say it's due to the injury. You got some people who are saying he's probably re-injured himself. You got some people saying it's this, that, I don't know. There's so many excuses. You can fill a whole building with excuses as to why he's not performing. Hell, I'm sure we've had people in the comments already giving out excuses as to why Bush is not performing. What I know is Bush has been absolutely Casper. He is a ghost on the field. He has no awareness. And there was one specific play which a lot of people had focused on this week where, and I want to make something clear because I almost forgot to say this. There is one factual thing that you could say to defend Bush. The defensive line is not doing a very good job at getting through the offensive line. And the offensive line, for a lot of our opponents, has been getting to the second level, which is where Bush is. My argument, though, is that Devin Bush is doing a very poor job at avoiding that. He's getting sucked right in. And I wish I could show the play. And I don't want to spoil anything, but starting next week, there's going to be some exciting things for KSN members. That's all I'm going to say now. But there's a play where Bush gets sucked right into the offensive lineman. But not only does he do that, it's almost as if he didn't care. He didn't attempt to get around this offensive lineman. In fact, he just stood there, shuffling his feet. Offensive lineman didn't even look like he gave a shit. Like he had no effort in stopping Bush. And it's almost like Bush didn't even see the ball carrier until he was past him. You guys in chat, you tell me. Is this a guy that should be starting on this defense? Is this the middle linebacker you want on the field? So, who's behind Devin Bush, you might ask? Well, there's a guy who shocked a lot of us last season who, if you go back on the channel and look, had a insane interception, and I made a reaction video to it. His name is Robert Spillane. If you ask me, I think Robert Spillane should be starting right now for this defense. And here's why. Robert Spillane is not the greatest covering linebacker. We know that. And I wish I recorded it because Danny made a great point. That is where you move some of the guys at corner and at the safety position. You move those guys, you shift them around a little bit. But one thing Robert is good at is stopping the running. Would you know that the Steelers defense is very poor at stopping the run right now? And the one play that I'm really focused on right now is a play where they ran the ball, they being the Chargers. And if Robert Spillane was in that game, I wonder if he would have allowed himself to get sucked into that offensive lineman. Or would have he went to the outside and made an effort to tackle the ball carrier? Because I don't know if you guys realize this, but 3 points is a lot less than 6, 7 pending an extra point. Meaning I would take the 3 all day. versus allowing a guy to just walk right into the end zone. Steelers Freak says Spillane and Buddy Johnson can't do worse. That is very true. And that is really at the, the core of all of this. That is basically what I'm saying. I mean, how much worse could we be than Devin Bush right now? And what sucks about this and why I think a lot of us are making such a big deal of it. This is a guy that the Steelers traded up to get. Not only was he a first round draft pick, he was a pretty early one. I mean, so early that the Steelers could have gotten, and I don't know off the top of my head, but I'm pretty sure a lot better players were taking after Bush, especially when you look at this season. And I'm not talking about what ifs. I'm not talking about, oh, well, Devin Bush will be good next season. That's not what we're doing here. We're not talking about next year. We're talking about this year. And again, as Mad 513 said, or I'm sorry, Steelers Freak, he said Spillane and Buddy Johnson can't do worse. Mad 513 said, I don't think Bush is in his mind, or in his mind is 100% confident. Again, those are what ifs. We don't know. We don't know if it's confidence. We don't know if it's injury. We don't know if it's, the stomach bug. We don't know. Just like I don't know what the hell was going through Mike Tomlin and the rest of that coaching staff's mind on a lot of those play calls in this game, being the Chargers game. Angelo says James Washington is worthless. It's really hard to assess that. I mean, this guy, he really hasn't had enough playing time to really come to that conclusion. If you put him on the starting lineup where he's in almost every single play, then you can make that argument. But that, honestly, that was the, and it wasn't just Devin Bush. I mean, a lot of the defense in this game just absolutely sucked. We had guys laying on the field. Cam Hayward was literally the only person on defense that tried or gave a damn. Cam Hayward, a fucking defensive lineman, is running down the field the opposite direction trying to tackle a guy. And you got our safeties and corners laying face down on the ground. Instead of getting back up and attempting to make a tackle, they're laying on the ground, throwing temper tantrums, crying like babies. Ladies and gentlemen, what I am telling you is this defense gave up. And I think this team's given up, if you want me to be quite honest with you. Which is why every week I come on here, regardless if we win or not, I tell you, I don't see how this team wins. There is a difference between the 2021 Pittsburgh Steelers and the team that won Super Bowl XL. Because I see a lot of comparisons, myself included. A few weeks ago, I made that comparison on somebody else's channel in the chat. The difference is this team doesn't try. There's no heart. Out with the exception of a few players, again, Cam Hayward. I'll be damned if I say he doesn't have heart. But overall, there just isn't enough. And when you look at that Super Bowl XL season, that team had a lot of heart. A lot of fucking heart. And I think that's why they ended up winning the way they did. Because despite the fact that they had games where they lost, they never gave up that true dream and passion of winning it all. Especially for Jerome Bettis. And that is the difference that I see between that team and the team of this season. Matt 513, thank you for joining the Kold Steel Nation, bro. Trust me, it's going to be worth it. I don't want to spoil it. I was going to do a whole video about some of the things I'm bringing to the channel next week. But just know there's going to be exclusive content coming for those who subscribe to KSN, man. I'm talking exclusive live streams that only you guys will be able to see on the channel. No one else will be able to see the content. Chad, what's going on? He says, who is going to be our kick returner? Yeah, I don't know, man. What, Ray? Me and Dan were talking about that this morning. I have no clue who they're going to put there And that's why this kind of sucks, because it's a Wednesday. Tomorrow's Thanksgiving. I don't know if we're going to do a stream Friday night. I got a feeling we will, though, because I like to do these Mondays and Fridays. And unfortunately, this week I got sick, which I'm still having the effects. In fact, right now I'm stuffed the hell up. But I don't know who's going to start over Ray with him being on the COVID list. And honestly, Ray's another guy that honestly has not been impressive this season. If you want me to be real, man. If you want me to be completely honest. But since you're getting on that topic, let's go ahead and talk about Steelers Bengals, man. Chad says Anthony Miller could be the kick returner. That would be, honestly, a very good thing. But the Steelers got to get this guy more involved now. You don't wait until the day before. You know what I mean? So, Steelers Bengals, man. I talked about this on the Twins channel. So I'm going to be regurgitating some of that. Honestly. And give me a second. I gotta drink some water. All right, we're good. I'm going to be regurgitating some of the stuff I said on the Twins channel. Here's the issue with this game. Not only did the Bengals beat us earlier in the season, and I know a lot of people believe that we can beat them this week, I'm here to tell you that I'm not picking either side. Of course, as I said on the Twins channel, I'll be the Yinzer and say the Steelers are going to win. But that was on their channel. I'm here to tell you on my channel because, again, I like to keep it real, man. And I'm not going to be the Yinzer. There is a very tight window that we can possibly win this, and here's why. Joe Burrow not being the most important factor for the Bengals, but 21 touchdowns, 11 interceptions. He's got Chase to throw the ball to, who's closing in on 1,000 yards on the season. Joe Mixon, man. Oh, man, this guy's damn near close to 800 yards, 9 touchdowns. And I think Dan told me that this guy's like 7 games in a row where he scored a touchdown. And right now, this Steelers defense has been exposed. And I know that because the last few weeks we've seen the opponent run the ball down our throats. That is the reason why against the Chargers, they ran the ball so much, and more specifically, the Lions. I mean, my God. We got exposed, and I don't think we're going to have enough, despite the fact that we're getting TJ Watt back, and we're going to look over this injury report that's in front of us here. We're getting TJ Watt back more than likely. In fact, I'm almost going to go on record and say that he will play in this game. We're getting Minka back. Unfortunately, Joe Hayden is still questionable as of November 23rd, which was yesterday. So that's kind of up in the air. He's dealing with that foot injury. And as, you know, local bands, which shout out to you, local bands. I didn't see you earlier in the chat, my fault. But he says not only the run, but the passing as well. Exactly. I don't know why some people, because I've seen a lot of stuff being said on Twitter. I don't know why some of these Steelers fans think that Joe Burrow isn't going to be able to torch this defense, even with Minka back. And if Joe Hayden's not in, despite the fact that he's getting old, he's getting up there in age, and he has got a little slower, I mean, it could be a rough night. Or afternoon, I should say. Which, by the way, I will be live for that watch party on Sunday. And we will be live Friday night. I'm going to say it now. We'll be live Friday night. I wasn't sure if I was going to do a live stream, but we're going to. Who knows? Maybe I'll see if I can get the Twins if they're not working. I don't know. because I'd like to get them on the show. But again, Joe Hayden, questionable. Ray McLeod has been ruled out already because of the COVID. Eric Ebron is listed as doubtful, but I think that has already been that's pretty much a nail in the coffin for him on the season. Turner is questionable, but who really gives a shit? I mean, honestly, the guy hasn't done jack shit for us this season. I honestly don't. I'm at a point where I just don't even know why the hell we signed this guy. And if I'm the Steelers, I'm getting on the phone and I'm saying, hey, DeCastro, how you been doing, man? Have you been working out? Are you in football shape? Are you ready to go, sir? Would you mind coming back? Because honestly, a guy like DeCastro, I mean, why not? Is there anybody else out there we could sign for offensive line at this point? I mean, seriously. Because anybody's got to be better than what we've been getting from Turner. And I think we all know, and Mad said he wouldn't mind DeCastro being back. I think we all know that Green is not a center. I fully expect next season he'll definitely be put at the guard position. Because in the Chargers game, he got absolutely destroyed, bro. And the Steelers definitely should have done something to fix that situation in the draft. Instead of, selecting a guard and putting him at center because he played a few center snaps in college. But Ben Roethlisberger still listed as questionable for whatever reason. I guess he's still dealing with some injuries. Guaranteed he'll be in this game. There's no way he's missing a Bengals game. But again, when you look at the rushing game of the Bengals, they got Joe Mixon, 759 yards, 9 touchdowns. Very obvious, if the Steelers are going to win this game, they're going to have to stop the run, first and foremost. But much like the Chargers, because let's be honest, the Chargers could throw the ball as well. We've seen that, although they didn't have to. I mean, the quarterback, what was it? He got like close to 50 yards in that game, did he not? What was Joe or Justin Herbert? He led the team in, are you fucking 90 yards? I don't know why. I thought it was less. I mean, this is proof right here that this team sucks at stopping the run. You'll allow Justin Herbert, who is not, by all technicality, he is not a mobile quarterback. He's not a Michael Vick. 90 yards on the ground, bro. Steelers Freak just said it too. 90 yards, bro. Are you kidding me? God damn, man. I just said, God damn, I'm going to offend somebody in the chat. I'm sorry. 90 yards, bro. I don't expect Joe Burrow to run 90 yards on us, but you just never know with this defense. And I get it, though. TJ Watt wasn't in that game. That probably changes a lot because he really is that special of a player. Moral of the story is, and not to keep you guys, because there's not much to really dig into. It's very simple for both teams. But of course, we're going to talk about the Steelers. You want to beat the Bengals. You stop the run. You keep the quarterback in the pockets. And if Watt is 100% going to be back in this game, you got to put pressure on Burrow. Because much like a lot of other younger quarterbacks in the league, if you put pressure on the quarterback, they're going to make a mistake. Whether or not we have the secondary that can make a play out of that, I don't know. But then if you do stop the run successfully, you also got to stop the passing game because, again, you got a guy by the name of Chase who is closing in on 1,000 yards on the season, 8 touchdowns. It's pretty safe to say that the Bengals can throw the ball. As far as our offense, I think they got to keep doing what they've been doing as far as getting down the field. We've seen a lot of drives where they have. And of course, yeah, we've seen a lot of games where they go 3 and out as well, but you got to be able to get down to the goal line, the red zone, and be effective because they have not been effective in the red zone. And the reason by that, just based on the film study I've been doing the last 2 weeks, or even just watching the games in general, they're not running the ball down at the goal line. And that is moronic, if I'm being nice about it. How many of you in chat feel the same way as far as the red zone? Am I onto something here? Or is it just me? Because the way I see it, you draft a guy like Harris, who honestly is more than likely going to finish the season with 1,000 yards or more. His touchdown count could be up a lot higher than 5 if they would just run the ball. And when I say that, I don't mean first or second down, you run it once, and then every other down, you're throwing the ball. You got to give this guy 2 to 3 chances down at the goal line, because it's very likely you'll be able to run the ball in there. But as far as getting down the field, they've done a decent job at that, with the exception of a few games this season. We saw it in the fourth quarter against the Chargers, despite the fact it was garbage time and the Chargers, in my opinion, got very relaxed on defense. You were still able to do it, though. And as much as I want to say we need to get away from doing so many slants, 5 yards, 6 yards, I just don't know if I want Ben going down far, because it's not about his throwing power. We know Ben can throw the ball down the field. It's his accuracy that's gotten worse. Now, Ben's deep ball was never super accurate. But if there's one thing that's declined, it's 100% the accuracy. Even some of those mid throws have been a little shaky. And I honestly think that's why the Steelers' offense is designed the way it is. Adam in the chat here says there's no creativity in the red zone. Teams will load the box knowing Harris will get the ball. And that's a problem. That is a problem. When you do nothing but slants and running, runs, which is what we want. We want us to run the ball. The problem is the passing game is not creative enough, and you're not stretching the field enough. The moment a guy like myself comes on and says Ben can't get the ball down the field, Ben throws a 60-yarder. 50, 60-yarder down the field. The problem is it's not accurate. It's sailing over people's heads. You saw the one pass to Claypool against the Chargers. Wide open. Wide open, a touchdown. What happened? Ben underthrew it. Chase had to stop, come back for it. Was about 5 or 6 yards, something like that, short of a touchdown. Could have been a touchdown if Ben dropped it in the bucket, but he didn't. And to be clear, yes, Ben is the best we have at quarterback right now. I'm not even getting into that. The Mason Rudolph discussions are done. But if this team is going to win against Cincinnati, they're just going to have to do better on the field, but also coaching. Coaching needs to be talked about a lot more. It just has to be talked about a lot more, man. The play calling decisions, offensively, defensively, it just sucks. No creativity, especially in the red zone. The Fiend just says we need Muth. We do. He's not being involved enough as is. You got a middle of the field wide open, and you don't utilize it. You don't target it, with the exception of maybe 2 to 3 times in a game. Oh, man. Michael says Ben played well. The D wasn't hurt and played bad. I assume you meant was hurt. But again, the issue with the whole Ben played well thing is he played well in the fourth quarter. He played very well in the fourth quarter. That's where a lot of that came, when the Steelers were down. So I'm acknowledging that. He did play well in the fourth quarter, but he did not play well in the entire game. And Michael follows up by saying the red zone is definitely a weakness with Canada. And I think it's because we're not running the ball down there. Again, it's not an issue of the offense, because, again, you're not going to get down the field every drive. You're not going to get down there. That's just, come on. Unless you're like, I don't know, Tom Brady, those guys. But, I mean, when you get down to that red zone, you got to be effective at running the ball, man. You got to get in there. And you can't go empty sets and shotguns, 5 yards out. I mean, that's just, what are we doing here? Steel Twin says coaching has to come up big. The coaching has let us down big time the past few years down the stretch. Twins, you know what? You just kind of just reminded me too. Some of this could be, I'll give you some positivity. Maybe a what if, which I just got done, taking a crap on. It is possible that the Steelers could be doing the opposite of what they did last year. Starting off super hot, 11-0, and then they just tanked the rest of the way, all the way through the playoffs. Maybe it's the opposite way. The only what if I'll give you, though. Twins, I hope you're doing good, man. I know you're in hell right now. King says have to beat the Bengals. No, man, we definitely do. In fact, majority of the games left on the schedule, we definitely have to pull those out. In fact, let me go ahead and pull up the schedule for you guys so we can kind of talk about that here. Because look at this schedule, guys. We got Cincinnati at 1 o'clock this Sunday. Again, I will be live for that game. But after Cincinnati, we got Baltimore. We got back-to-back AFC North showdowns, man. If we lose either of these games, and I'm just going to say it now looking at the schedule here, every last AFC North game, and look at that at the end of the season, we got the Browns and Baltimore back-to-back. All of these games on this list are important, with the exception of maybe the Minnesota game. But you're going against Cincinnati, Baltimore, Tennessee, Kansas City, Cleveland, and Baltimore. That is, your playoff hopes are relying on you winning majority of those, specifically the AFC North games. And I'm going to say it now. If we're going to make it, we're going to have to not only beat Cincinnati this week, we're going to have to beat Baltimore twice. And we're going to have to finish off the Browns for the season. Although I think at this point, the Browns are done. But Baltimore, clearly the best team at this point after last week, in my opinion. I think they're the best in the AFC North. Call it because of injuries, whatever excuse you want to put there. Oh, Twins, you are home. My bad, bro. I thought you guys were at work tonight for some reason. I believe you guys said you wanted to come over for AEW. So if that's still up on the board, man, let me know, because that would be dope. I'd love to have you guys over tonight. So let me know, man. But yeah, we're going to have to win all the AFC North games for this team to... In fact, Dan, if you want, I might have you call in, sir. Let's have Dan call in, man. Dan or Bob. One of you guys, both of you guys. I'm going to call your phone right now. Let's do this. Give me a second, guys. I'm going to get this all queued up. Why did I think you guys were at work tonight? Honestly. All right, let's see. Let's see. Channels. Reset phone call. All right, Dan, I don't know where you are, but let's give a call. VZ says, who's going to be y'all's toughest opponent outside of Kansas City? Definitely I think Baltimore. The Tennessee game could potentially be very tough, and me and the Twins will be at that game physically. So if any of you guys are going to the Titans game, we'll be there. All right, Danny, I'm calling your phone right now, sir. Let's see if Dan picks up. Let's see if Dan picks up. I hear something. Hey, man, I don't know why I thought you were at work, man. And I just realized, hold on a second. I just realized something. You're not picking up on the OBS because I'm using a different setting for audio. So give me a second, guys. We're doing this on the fly. I mean, it's Thanksgiving Eve. What is everybody doing anyways? All right, stereo. The only thing is I don't have the list in front of me for this. So this is just going to be trial and error. Are you guys there? Let's see. You are not. Oh boy. Michael says we need to sweep the division. Absolutely. Because we have to. We just have to. There's no other option right now. Daniel says, I am doing all right. How is it going? I hope everybody's having a good night. Honestly, that is really all I have to say about the Bengals. I'm just going to try to find out how to get Bob and Dan on here. Doing this on the fly. Procaster. Or it's Roadcaster, you idiot. Michael says bacon and honey baked ham. Oh man, that sounds good. That you blame Baker Mayfield for this? I mean, you're not wrong. Instead of doing this, maybe I should just continue trying each one until we get you. Just keep talking.
Happy Thanksgiving Eve to everybody. To Kold Steel, to everybody in the chat. Steeler Nation.
Oh, I think you guys are on here now.
We good.
Yeah, I found the correct. You let me know if you're watching this on YouTube, but let me know if you guys can hear the Steel Twins. On the fly, man. Look at that.
Anything can happen live, folks.
Michael says it's 2:00 on the West Coast, man. It is almost damn near 7:00, which is normally the time we go live.
You know, I'm not going to lie to you. I just tuned into your show like 10 minutes ago because we just got home from getting our Christmas tree.
Really?
Got it all set up. We're gonna let it stand for about a day or two. And we're gonna decorate that son of a bitch.
Go and decorate that son. You got anything Steelers that you're gonna put on that tree?
I'll find something.
You'll find something? Maybe I gotta hook you guys up, man.
We'll find something.
You know what? This is I'm glad I got you guys on. I want to get your thoughts again on what you guys think about this Steelers-Bengals game.
Well, you can't really say anything much out of what you all have already stated. Defense has to show up. It's really going to rely on the defense because we're facing a very good underrated offense. Yeah, definitely. My fear is Mixon for sure because if we can't stop the run, then I don't know how we stand a chance.
No.
Because I don't know if I can still trust this offense. Like, can they keep up what they did in the fourth quarter? Right, exactly. Can they be consistent? That's something the Steelers have obviously not been all year. That's something that worries me. Coming into this game, I'm just going to have the same attitude and mentality as I did against the Chargers game. I'm not really going to expect much. Not really going to anticipate anything, but I will hope in the end that we do beat the Cincinnati Bengals and get a victory. Well, because we need it. They haven't beaten us 3 straight times in in over 30 years. So, I don't know, maybe history's on our side. But I also like Ben's chances in Ohio. Despite his age, despite the fact he's been close to turning turnovers, I like his odds in Ohio. I will give Ben this, though. A lot of people really didn't think he was going to win against the Browns the past month or a month ago. And look what happened. We were able to get away with the victory. So, I don't know. Maybe
even I was surprised by that.
Yeah, especially with how Ben played, beforehand. So, I don't know, maybe history will be on our side. Yeah, thank you.
Guys, everybody in chat, let me know, do I need to turn the Twins up louder? Because on OBS, it looks like it's low, but in my headphones, it's pretty loud.
Well, it would be loud in your headphones.
Yeah, but now I can't hear myself because I had to turn the headphones down.
Oh, okay. Well,
That's the problem. So you guys let me know in chat, do the twins sound, do I need to raise the volume or lower it? I want to figure this out for the future because we're going to be doing a lot more phone calls on the channel.
So this is pretty much a test of some sort, I suppose.
Well, we've done it before, obviously, but...
Yeah, exactly, a test. So,
Test,
I'm curious, did you go over the injury report today?
I did, but of course I was using ESPN, which, as you know, is not always the most accurate. I think the Steelers website usually has the best news on that. In fact, let me pull it back up here. Switch to the laptop screen, which again, I'm going to be redoing this.
That's because I noticed Hayden was a non-participant.
See, I don't think it tells me that on ESPN. It just says that he's questionable.
Yeah.
Which, honestly, I thought this week he wasn't going to play because of that foot injury.
Right.
So seeing him listed as questionable kind of confused me. I thought for sure he was out this week. And if he didn't practice, I mean, I don't know. Yeah,
because it's not just him. Turner didn't practice, Hasenauer didn't practice, and Ebron didn't practice. Jeremy Fowler said yesterday that Ebron's going to be missing some significant time, which it's not really going to harm us. It's not really going to hurt our offense. Muse, we got guys like Rader, who we promoted, and Gentry, who stepped up in the blocking and receiving game. So the tight end core is not really going to take a beating with Ebron out. But I do feel bad for Ebron and everything.
Right. Well, I personally think that if the Steelers do exactly what I already talked about, we should be able to win this game. The Ravens game, believe it or not, is the one I'm most concerned about. Because my brother even asked, outside of the Chiefs, which honestly, the Chiefs have been kind of weird this season, but they were weird in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So, I don't even know. I feel like I take Baltimore a little bit more serious than them at this point. Maybe it's just me, but considering we allowed, so many teams to run all over us, obviously we know what Jackson can do.
Yeah, and not just that, despite the injuries that the Ravens sustained before and during the season, whether it's injuries or COVID, the Ravens somehow, some way, now it could just very well be luck, which could very well be, could very well not be, but the Ravens, some way, somehow, they can make a comeback happen, and they can show what type of team they can be capable of. Are they consistent? Sure, but I think just about every team in the AFC really is.
Right.
That's why we call it the average football conference.
I don't think Bettis is going to work. I'm trying to set Bettis up. Oh, there we go. There we go, chat. You guys can look at Bettis when he was with the Rams. Well, getting off that topic, we have one last topic before I sit here and just basically chat with chat. I want to bring something to everybody's attention about another Pittsburgh football team that is returning to Pittsburgh. Twins, I'm sure you know what I'm talking about.
Of course.
I had to do this, man. The Pittsburgh Maulers are returning to Pittsburgh, although they're not actually technically going to be playing in Pittsburgh this season, as the USFL has been revived. Now, some of you probably have no idea what I'm talking about, and honestly, I knew about this team, but I didn't know much, and here's the details. The team was originally founded in 1983. In fact, April 28th, to be exact. They played in Three Rivers Stadium, which at the time was occupied by the Steelers and the Pittsburgh Pirates. And it really caused some issues because it was a spring football league that eventually ended up trying to compete with the NFL directly, which we've never seen before. And believe it or not, they were actually a threat to the NFL. And there's a rumor. I don't know if it's true. What is true is that former President Trump actually owned the New Jersey Generals team. He ended up buying that team out. He's been wanting to get into the NFL for so many years. Ended up buying this team with the intentions of ruining the league. That is where the rumor begins. The rumor is that he had discussions with the NFL back in 1980 something, and his intentions were to ruin the USFL because they were in competition with the NFL, and they actually sued the NFL for being a monopoly, believe it or not. Who would have thought, NFL is a monopoly on football, right? Long story short, though, they did win the case, but they only got $3 and some change. I mean, if they would have gotten a lot of money like they probably should have, the league probably would have never folded. So we can blame Trump for the reason why the USFL back in the 80s failed. Now, present day, they are back. And I like some of the business. And I don't know how many of you in chat are excited about spring football, but I am. Because, football, when the NFL season's over, there's that long spring and summer where we don't have any, outside of baseball and some of the hockey, we don't have anything else. And to be quite frank with you, I don't watch baseball as much as I used to. I don't even know if the Twins are baseball fans. How many of you in chat watch baseball? I don't know. But this is exciting to me. And we saw the XFL had some success. Some people, for whatever reason, I think Dunlap, Pittsburgh radio guy, he said this is not going to work, and he pointed out how the XFL failed. But I think he's not realizing that the XFL only failed because of the pandemic. Not because people weren't interested in the XFL. That is absolute BS. And here's why. I actually attended some XFL games. Well, specifically the first XFL game, which was the DC Defenders. And when I tell you the fans there were absolutely going nuts, and they were all season long, there is a desire for spring football. And unfortunately for the XFL, they're not going to be coming back until next year, or 2023. But in 2022, starting this April, I believe, the Pittsburgh Maulers and the USFL is going to be back. It's going to be on Fox. In fact, I think Fox owns a lot of this. And I'm excited. And I'm more than likely going to be doing watch parties for the Pittsburgh Maulers on this channel. We'll see how that goes, but I think it's going to be a great way to bring more content to the channel. And it's still football. And also, it's going to give some of those college players that didn't get an opportunity in the NFL a chance to show what they can do. But let's see what the chat's saying about this. Bobby says, I'm an NBA head, so after NFL, I root for my home team. Nothing wrong with that. But I personally don't have an NBA team because there's no team in Pittsburgh. You can argue and say, Philadelphia Sixers, which is the team I followed the most lately, but I'm kind of conserving myself for a Pittsburgh team. Twins, are you guys still on the line?
Yes.
Okay. What is your thoughts on this? I know you aren't a fan, and you can bring it up. The colorway, because that needs to be talked about.
Yeah, I think it's a mix of the Broncos and the Vikings, and I know they want to be apart from the NFL, which is fine. But it's the Steel City, it's the gold / yellow bridges, whatever side you're on. I think they ought to move to the black and gold color. But more football, you're not going to hear negative things from me. So I'm totally all for this, and I can't wait, man.
Same, and you saw the, and I should try to find that. You saw what I was able to do with that logo.
Correct.
In fact, let me go ahead. I'll pull that up for you guys.
You should so pop that up.
Because there is a difference, and I understand why they're sticking with the purple and orange. It's because it's what the original team's colorway was. And it's not like I've seen a lot of people saying that Pittsburgh always has black and gold, but that's not necessarily true. You can go back and or not even go back. You can look at the Panthers as an example there. But let me show you guys what that logo looks like in black and gold. I'm just saying, in my opinion, I think it does look better. Just saying. I'm just going to throw that. I've been tweeting at them. They haven't been very responsive. My assumption is they don't have social media guys for each team yet. The league is very in the beginning stages of everything. Because I can't imagine that they're just going to ignore fans because a lot of people have been tweeting them. But nonetheless, man, I'm excited about the Pittsburgh Maulers. And I will be doing content on that team throughout the spring and summer, early summer, for you guys. So I hope you guys are excited about that. Danielle says that looks so much better in black and gold. Does it? I mean, it's beautiful. It is beautiful. By the way, follow me on Twitter at Kold Steel 412. I just realized I haven't even plugged the website one time tonight. There's the original colors, guys. Steelers Freak says they should use a Color Rush version. I don't know if they're going to go there. All right, well, I think that's all. I think I'm just going to bullshit with Bob and Dan here and listen to you guys in chat. What are you guys doing tomorrow, man, outside of Thanksgiving?
Eating.
Eating? Well, that's what I mean. Outside of Thanksgiving, what is your plans?
Thanksgiving is. No, it's maybe watching football. It depends what games are on. Well, I mean, there's nothing else on outside of football. I'm not watching the Macy's Thanksgiving parade. I'm not a parade guy. I think you're just looking at freaking balloons. I mean, I'm not a fan of that. I'd rather see people get tackled and bullshit penalties happen and you want to scream at your TV. Yeah, exactly. Even if it's not my team, I love football.
So you don't want to see Snoopy, bro? You don't want to see Snoopy on floating in the sky in New York City? I assume it's in New York, right?
I don't know. I'll watch Snoopy on the television after I get done eating probably a plate and a half.
Nice.
I'm going to try to eat 3 plates.
Well, again, I should be over there by noonish. And I'm going to be watching the game as well. So I'm glad you guys said you're watching the game because that's kind of all I want to do tomorrow outside of enjoying a little bit of turkey, and I'm going to try to stay away from mashed potatoes and all that shit. But
speaking of Thanksgiving, remember last year we were supposed to have Steelers Ravens on Thanksgiving until you know what happened?
Yeah, and I was in love with the thumbnail that I made. So I wasn't able to use that, unfortunately. But what we got the Lions and Bears, right? Am I correct on that? In fact, let me pull that up. I think I lost the Twins.
No, we're here.
What's the games tomorrow? Okay, yeah, Chicago and Detroit.
And then we have Raiders, Cowboys, and we finish off with Bills at Saints.
All right, I'm definitely watching Chicago, Detroit, even though it's the battle of the shittiest. But I'm definitely watching the Raiders in Dallas, for sure. Buffalo and New Orleans, I don't think I'm watching that one. I don't think I'm watching that one.
I'll only watch it because I don't know what else I'm going to do on my Thursday night. Outside to eat pie.
Facts. What kind of pies we got tomorrow, man?
We got apple crumble pie. We got the classic pumpkin. We got cheesecake. We should have banana cream pie over.
Goddamn, bro. Of course, I can't really touch the pies, but I'm still interested. Just saying. Maybe I'll have a small one. Just it's a holiday.
You gotta have some classic pumpkin with that Cool Whip.
I'll have a small piece. All right, small.
As you should.
Kold Steel's trying. I've been trying for like 3 years, but that's besides the point. That is besides the point. Danielle said, "Oh man, you said cheesecake."
Yeah.
Listen, the Steel Twins house on Thanksgiving is always a good time.
It is. It's also very full.
Very full, very big family. And then of course you add myself and my children. It gets it gets chaotic, actually. I don't even know how we're going to be able to listen to the game, but unless we go upstairs.
That's always an option.
That might be the way. I think your TV upstairs is no. The one downstairs is. But anyways, man, maybe I should bring over the PlayStation so we play some Madden tomorrow, man.
I'll gladly play some Madden.
You know, I didn't purchase it yet because I'm trying to convince myself that buying Madden twice is a good idea. Chat, I don't know how you feel about that. I don't know if you would do that, but it is on sale right now.
Well, just saying. Not, bring the Xbox over. You already have it installed there, and we can finish our franchise season.
Yeah, I think the reason why I'm thinking about PS5, not only for the graphic update, because that's 4K, but also I heard it's less buggy than the Xbox version, man.
That's what I heard as well.
It seems like a lot of the freezing issues, the franchise issues are tied to the Xbox. So, why? I don't know. That makes no sense to me. Bobby says D-Jax has a history of torching the boys. The Cowboys. Again, I'm looking forward to that Vegas-Dallas game. I think it's going to be good. I know Raiders fans are fed up right now. I was watching another Raiders channel on YouTube last night.
Yeah, shout out to the Spotlight Raiders Talk. I was at work watching his stream, and he was like frustrated. I'm like, man.
I had a feeling you were watching that as well. Man, that was an entertaining stream.
Yeah,
it kind of reminds me of us.
Yeah, a little bit. He's realistic, man. He's not afraid to express his true feelings.
Yeah, and honestly, that's why I subscribe to guys like that, man. I don't just check out Steelers content creators. I check out a lot of other guys.
Yeah,
there's just so many great independent talents on this platform. It's just awesome, man. It really is. There's a couple other ones as well that I watched, but and shout out to Steel Maiden. I don't know if he's watching the show right now, but he actually responded to the video that we uploaded on your channel.
Yeah, the whole Devin Bush category, the whole discussion.
Yeah, very good stuff.
Definitely shout out to Steel Maiden.
And he actually added some good points of his own to that topic, so.
Totally.
Daniel said I'd check out more content than the Steelers. Let's pull up. We got to talk about it, guys. We got to talk about it. SteelYenzers.com, man. Holiday sale has been up for a week now, I believe. And we got a lot of stuff up, so if you guys want to grab some merch and support not only myself, but the twins, please consider doing so because this sale only lasts until December 1st. After December 1st, all this stuff, some of this stuff actually gets removed from the store. Like the hoodies, they're going to be gone.
You guys have 1 week left to capitalize on the holiday sale, especially that it's Jaguar season because we got the Bengals this week, but we got the Ravens next week. No, we got the Bengals this week, then the Ravens next week. So it's officially Jaguar season, man.
It is officially Jaguar season, and also you got to remember this as well. The shipping in regards to holidays gets a little bad during the December month. So now's the time to order, man, this week. And honestly, you're not going to get prices like this throughout the year. Unfortunately, the way this works with the company that we're using, this is just the way it is. The prices are up there. But you're getting quality merch. In fact, Twins will tell you we both own our own merch, and it's lasted a long time now.
It has, and it's so comfy, especially the winter merch you guys can get.
I'm actually still wearing a hoodie that I bought 3 years ago.
Yeah.
From this place. So
the longevity, the durability.
Yeah, and who doesn't want the run the ball t-shirt with Bob's face on it? I mean, come on. Seriously. What a classic reaction to something that honestly hasn't changed.
Well, I got so correct.
Nothing's changed, man.
No,
it is still run the ball. But I'm in the holiday spirit, man.
Yeah, dude. Same here. Like after we just got the tree and we set it up, and I got lights going on in the family room. Like it's This is my favorite time of the year.
By the way, I think I'm gonna order that this It's Jag Off Season flag. I think I'm gonna be putting that in the background here in the studio.
Holy.
Where I put that, in fact, let me pull up the full screen here. Because I already got this bad boy and I don't want to remove that. But man, I ain't gonna lie, it would look pretty fucking sexy right there. I'm looking at the camera. I'm trying to figure out where the hell I'd put that.
Well, no longer using the green screen, it's totally a great opportunity to put it up in the wall background.
Right. I also don't want to do what I did, previously where I remove shit every week. Because then the wall ends up with holes in it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, I got plenty of space in here. I mean, these walls that you guys can't see are pretty much empty. But I want that bitch on the screen, man. I want that on the screen. I'm just saying. And it's a pretty big flag. Unfortunately. Fortunately, but unfortunately. Yeah, it's 56, I believe, inches long. So it's a pretty nice size of, it's a full-size flag right there. If I'm not mistaken.
It's like 4.5 feet, if I'm correct.
It's a pretty big size. But also we have mugs, which I'm going to be ordering those as well because I plan on drinking. In fact, I just had coffee. Drinking it out of an AJ Styles mug that I found in the back of the cabinet because all the other ones need to get washed. But I'm going to get me a KSN mug and a Steel Twins mug, man. Specifically the Run the Ball one. And I think we're going to be trying to add some black mugs to the channel because the white mugs are kind of boring. And I think everything that we have designed up looks better with a black background. And last but not least, we do have the limited Steel Yinzers logo, which is stitched on a Champion bomber jacket. So if you want to keep warm this winter, really haven't talked about this enough. There you go. It's going to be limited, meaning once December comes around, I think we're going to be taking this off the store. So if you support the brand and you want a nice jacket that's going to last you many years, definitely consider doing that. But again, more importantly, the sale is going to be ending December 1st. That will be the last day that you can pick any of this stuff up for the price that you see on the screen. And if you can't see the screen, just go over to steelyinzers.com. The link is in the description.
Or even the app on Android, the Android Google Play Store.
Which still needs an update. It will be a little slow if you guys decide to download that because it's still technically linked to what we used to run back in the day with the Steelers website. But we're going to be adding some more exciting stuff to the store, not just Steel Yinzers merchandise. We're going to be adding things like books. So any of the books that you see on Steelers Shop or NFL Shop, they're going to be running through our shop, hopefully in the next week or two. And we might even sell some other really cool Steelers authentic merchandise. So a lot of that stuff, and of course, that'll be through Amazon. So a lot of exciting stuff coming to Steel Yinzers, man. Chat. Got the Twins on the line. If you guys have any questions, fire off in the chat. I don't know how many people's in here. I'm not paying attention. For all I know, there probably could be 2 people and I'm just talking to myself. But in fact, let's look. Let's see where we're at. Yeah, we got 10 people in here right now, man. It's not a watch party. So not a lot of people tune in, but Bobby says, question for all Steelers fans. Thoughts on James Conner and the great season he's having for the Cardinals? Twins, you want to take that one first?
I'm just so happy for James Conner.
Yeah.
I have a special place for James Conner in my black and gold heart because he made his career in Pittsburgh. And when he was drafted, it was like I wanted no one but Conner with that last pick. And when Moats announced it, dude, I was freaking out. And when he stepped up when who held out, it's like, man, this is the perfect story. It's unfortunate the way his career ended in Pittsburgh. Hopefully he could come back, but I'm just so happy for him. He totally deserves this opportunity, all the success.
Yeah. The only thing I'll add to that is I wish the Steelers would have kept him. I still think, drafting Harris was the right move. But looking at, how this team is, he would have been a great addition to Harris with that, 1-2 punch type deal. And I wish the Steelers would have did that.
It would have been filthy, honestly.
Honestly, yeah. But that's my thoughts, man. Everyone else in chat is saying the same thing. They're happy for him. How can you not be happy for a guy that had a pretty bad season last year, due to the offensive line, the play calling, all that stuff? But I don't know how you can't be happy for that guy. So, but chat, we've been streaming now for close to just an hour and a half almost. I think that is going to be it. We covered every topic we needed to cover. I want to go enjoy the rest of my evening. I don't know if the twins are coming over. Twins, are you still there? I just realized I think I took you off of Bluetooth because I'm an idiot.
That's why you sound different.
Yeah, I don't even think they heard you, man, because I'm an idiot.
Yeah, so we may be over. We'll stay on the line while you do the outro and stuff, and then after you're off the air, we'll discuss. But I think we might be over. But not for long, because I got to put the turkey in the oven at midnight.
Oh, of course. I'm just saying for the show.
Of course.
Bobby says happy Thanksgiving to all, and I will say to all of those subscribed, especially the KSN members, man, shout out to all of you. I hope you guys enjoy your Thanksgiving. I look forward to giving you guys some very quality content starting next week, which I wish I've been doing, weeks prior, but I just came up with some great ideas. Twins, you know what I'm talking about. We're going to be doing some exclusive behind the scenes conversations about the Steelers that only KSN members will get. In fact, I think Thanksgiving Day, I'm going to record a audio podcast with me and the Twins on the fly. It's going to be very raw quality. But we'll talk about the Steelers, and only KSN members will be able to listen to it starting next week. In fact, it could be as early as Saturday. So look forward to that. Go ahead, Twins.
He was just saying, oh, yeah.
Yeah, oh, yeah. But that's the plan, man. If you're subscribed, if you're not, $4.99 a month supports the channel. Obviously, I guess it supports YouTube as well because they do take a cut of that. But, yeah, man, we're going to be working on some new things, not only for the channel, but again, is for Steel Yinzers. And I'm sure the Twins going into next season got some, stuff up their sleeve as well. So if you're not subscribed to the Twins, youtube.com/SteelTwins is how you get access to that. That said, you guys enjoy the rest of your Thanksgiving Eve. Enjoy your Thanksgiving tomorrow. I'll probably be clipping some stuff from this live stream to upload to the channel tomorrow. And I will be live Sunday for Steelers Bengals at 1 o'clock. Actually, we'll probably go live at like 12:40, but yeah. I don't know if we're going to do a morning stream that day. I'll figure things out. But until then, you guys enjoy yourself. Twins, you want to do your sign out?
Of course. Happy Thanksgiving to you all. You all have a safe, great holiday. Rob, do the honors. Like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you later. Peace!
All right, guys, take it easy.